What is up, YouTube? It's your girl Evelyn, and today I want to highlight some upcoming shows and films featuring queer lady characters. So sit back, enjoy the video, and if there are any upcoming shows or films I've missed, please let me know in the comments.
New kids on the block had a bunch of hits, Chinese food.
Set in Northern Ireland during the Troubles, Derry Girls follows a group of friends who come of age in the 90s, and it is hands down one of the funniest shows I've ever watched.
We have to stick together, okay? We have to back each other up. I was there, I admit that, but I didn't do anything. It was Michelle. It was all Michelle. I'm not going down for something I didn't do. If anyone deserves to get punished, it should be Michelle.
Well, I think it's safe to say we all just lost a bit of respect for you there, Claire.
If you're not familiar with the political history of Ireland, you might want to skim a Wikipedia page or two before watching Derry Girls. Of course, you don't have to, but it will help to deepen your understanding of what's happening in the background of the show. Also, if your ear is not attuned to the Northern Ireland accent, you're gonna want to turn on subtitles. The jokes on this show are fast and furious, and you will miss at least half of them if you're watching without subtitles. Now, I know that might seem like a lot of work just to watch one TV show, but trust me, Derry Girls is worth it. And even though it's not the gayest show on the list, one of the Derry Girls is a lesbian. In fact, my girl Ash will be covering the newest season of Derry Girls over on her channel, so if you're a fan, you might want to subscribe. For those of you who've never watched Derry Girls, the first 2 seasons are currently available in the US on Netflix. Unfortunately, season 3 won't be available until much later. But if you don't want to wait, you can just grab yourself a good old-fashioned VPN and watch it online at channel4.com. And to the 3 of you who still don't have a VPN, feel free to use my discount code from NORDVPN. That way, we can all watch season 3 of Derry Girls together April 14th on Channel 4. Love Classified is an upcoming Hallmark original movie about a romance novelist who always meddles in her children's love lives, so her kids decide to rebel by using a dating app modeled after the newspaper classified section. Was that a plot?
We are all starving for real, tangible connection.
I'm Frankie. Francesca. Nice to meet you.
I admit, I might be a little bit of a Lifetime snob.
I don't know her.
In fact, I don't think I've ever even watched a Hallmark original film. Love Classified stars our girl Danny from the L Word Gen Q, and she's gay in this too. So even though Lifetime is clearly the superior network, I just might tune into Hallmark on April 16th to see if Love Classified has a plot. 3 years after its season 1 premiere, Gentleman Jack is finally back.
She lacks anything to do with medicine or mathematics. You know, the things women aren't supposed to be interested in.
She dissected a baby once. It was dead.
If you plan to watch the 2nd season of Gentleman Jack, I highly encourage you to check out the recap I made last week, especially if you haven't watched the 1st season since it aired. The thing is, I love Gentleman Jack, but it is a very dense show that requires you to have working knowledge of 1800s coal mining, which I know you don't. Gentleman Jack will be dropping April 10th on the BBC, but if you're not in the UK and want to watch it early, you know what to do. For everyone else, season 2 of Gentleman Jack drops April 25th on HBO Max. Crush, formerly known as Love in Color, is an upcoming teen rom-com about an artist who's forced to join her school's track team, and not long after finds herself falling for one of her teammates. As of the making of this video, a trailer has yet to be released for Crush, but it sounds like it'll probably be cute and adorable, and you can check it out April 29th on Hulu.
Your hands and you're pulling my jeans and your voice real low when you're talking to me.
Anaïs In Love is a French rom-com about 30-year-old Anaïs, an immature, flaky, and self-indulgent woman who falls in love with her side dude's girlfriend.
De lire un de vos livres. Je l'ai pas encore fini, mais j'adore. Enfin, j'ai l'impression qu'on a des sensibilités très proches.
Pardon, mais j'ai rendez-vous chez mon éditeur, justement.
Oui, bien sûr.
The trailer gives off light, fluffy, rom-com vibes, and Anaïs seems like a woman child who may or may not mature enough to get the girl by the end. So if you're in the mood for lighthearted bisexual shenanigans, you can watch Anaïs In Love April 29th in theaters. Girl Picture is a Finnish coming-of-age film about two friends, one of whom wants to fall in love, and the other who just wants to have a stimulating experience.
Sä kiinnostat mua enemmän kuin mikään muu täällä.
From what I've read, Girl Picture is a pretty straightforward, not too deep coming of age. And even though the film follows both girls on their separate paths to adulthood, the heart of the movie belongs to the lesbian romance at its center that's not sensationalized or otherized. So if you're into nuanced teen flicks with heavy doses of awkward realism, you can catch Girl Picture April 14th in theaters, in Finland, and maybe other places.
But I'm undecided.
The Girl and the Spider is a film I will not be watching because there is at least one physical spider in the movie, and I am a little bitch. Also, I'm not too sure what this film is about exactly. The IMDb synopsis is more poetic than informative, but based on the trailer, The Girl and the Spider seems to be about two roommates, one of whom is in the process of moving out, and the other who might be in love with her, or obsessed with her, or both.
Hoffentlich hält sie es mit dir aus. Bleibst in diesem Loch, bis du verreckst. Fick dich. Später. Erst zieh ich aus.
I feel like this movie is basically about a couple of weird girls being weird and maybe a little gay, which is normally my jam. But like I said, I don't do spiders. But for those of you who aren't little bitches, The Girl and the Spider will be released in theaters exclusively in New York on April 8th, and then April 15th everywhere else. I don't know what this says about me, but I love shows set in prisons. Orange, Oz, Wentworth, Bad Girls, Prison Break, Vis-a-Vis, the list goes on. I also love mockumentaries and shows that break the fourth wall, like Abbott Elementary, The Office, Parks and Rec, and, of course, Gentleman Jack, which makes Hard Sell, an upcoming Netflix series, my literal dream come true. It's a British show set in a prison and filmed in mockumentary style.
82% of women are in prison for non-violent crime. Case in point, what are you in here for?
7 counts of battery and assault.
That's a bad example. What about you?
Armed robbery.
Nope.
I don't know if there are any queer characters in Hard Sell, but I have yet to watch a show set in a women's prison where every character was heterosexual. So I'll go out on a limb and assume there will be at least one gay character. And if you also have an unhealthy obsession with prison shows, you can catch Hard Sell April 12th on Netflix.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Based on a book of the same name, Shining Girls is a time-traveling, mystery, psychological thriller about a woman who's trying to catch her killer.
What did you say?
Which doesn't seem possible, but I guess we'll see.
There are multiple women dead over multiple decades.
I want us to sketch out the right man. We just need enough details for someone who knows him.
It won't work. No one knows him.
The trailer for Shining Girls looks really intriguing, and the show stars Elizabeth Moss, so you know it's gonna be f***ed up. The Shining Girls novel does include a lesbian character, but as we all know, when it comes to adaptations, the gayness may or may not make it to the screen. Although I really hope the show closely follows the book's plot, because from what I've heard, the book is like Mad Libs on crack. You can catch the premiere of Shining Girls April 20th on Apple TV+. The Fallout is a film I kept putting off watching because I didn't want to cry for an hour and a half. Well, I finally watched it, and I cried for an hour and a half.
You don't even need to wear makeup. Sorry, what? I just said you don't even need to wear makeup.
The Fallout follows Veda, a high school student who struggles to cope in the aftermath of a school tragedy. I will be reviewing The Fallout over on Patreon sometime next week, but I will say I ended up liking this movie way more than I expected, especially considering I'm an elderly millennial, and The Fallout feels very much like Gen Z, in a good way, but also a very bittersweet way. And not to spoil anything, but it gets a little gay. The Fallout is currently available to stream on HBO Max. Badhaai Do is a Bollywood film about a lavender marriage between a lesbian PE teacher and a gay police officer. If you're a fan of Bollywood films, I think you'll like Badhaai Do. It's a pretty standard Bollywood movie, well, except for the gayness. There's musical montages, meddling families, at least one big musical number, and it's over 2 hours long. And not only did I like Badhaai Do, but I think I liked it better than How I Felt When I Saw That Girl, another queer Bollywood film I reviewed last year. You can currently stream Badhaai Do on Netflix. There's a few more queer shows and films I wanted to review this week, but I just didn't get a chance to watch them all. So if you've caught any of these, please let me know in the comments what you thought. The first is Astrid and Lily Save the World, a sci-fi original series that, from my understanding, is in the same vein of Winona Earp or Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's about two best friends who fight monsters and, I guess, save the world. The show began airing in January of this year, so I know it's not new, but it's new to me. There's also Human Resources, a raunchy animated comedy from the creators of Big Mouth. Now, I did catch the first episode of Human Resources and...
No. Don't like that.
It's no Big Mouth, but if you want to check it out for yourself, you can currently stream Human Resources on Netflix. And last but not least is The Conductor, an inspiring documentary about Marin Alsop, an internationally renowned conductor and openly gay lady who smashed every glass ceiling she ran into. And there were a lot. The Conductor is currently available on VOD. That is it for the list. I want to give a quick shout out to my newest patron, Dominique. I also have to shout out my Big Spender patrons, Angel and Citizen Ruth. As always, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to let me know which upcoming release you're most looking forward to, and I'll see you in the next one.